What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Welcome back to another Tottenham update. We're going to the last 24 hours of Tottenham news. Just 4 headlines for you today. Going to start off with Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. The footy insider are claiming that Fulham are ready to bid for Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg now after Man United rejected an offer from Scott McTominay. But again, we brought you the news that Fulham are interested in Hojbjerg a few days ago, and my opinion hasn't changed. I don't think Hojbjerg even considers this offer.
Yeah, it would be interesting if there isn't as serious interest as he would like in, like, say, from Atletico or Dortmund or Napoli or whoever. If he would consider it at that stage, or whether he'd rather just stay at Tottenham, run down his contract, and have the pick of clubs at that point. But I think, yeah, Fulham. I can understand why Fulham want him, and I can understand why they would want to replace Palhinha with him. It would be a good option. But I think Hojbjerg, at this stage of his career, he knows he's good enough to play for like a Champions League level team. He is a very good player, just off the back of a good tournament as well. So I think he's probably waiting for a better offer. Yeah,
absolutely. And we'll see what happens when he comes back. It'll be interesting if he does go on the tour or not. He didn't go to Australia, did he, the back end of last season to focus on finding a new club. He didn't do that. He's gone to the Euros. He's had a pretty good Euros, albeit not such a good Euros for Denmark. But I got a feeling they might just keep him behind so he can focus on that move.
I agree.
Next up, let's talk about Dejan Kulusevski. Bleacher Report are claiming that Aston Villa have made a shock inquiry for Tottenham forward Dejan Kulusevski as a possible replacement for Moussa Diaby.
Yeah, I mean, they could inquire. I don't think Tottenham will entertain it. I think the message from Tottenham to Villa would be that he's not for sale and that you're going to have to make a huge bid for Tottenham even to consider it. It would be interesting if they were to make a big bid. Let's say they bid, I don't know, 60+ million. What Tottenham's stance would be? Would they entertain it or not? You got to remember, Villa finished above us last season, so they're now a rival. And you know, we're not. I don't think we're in the business anymore strengthening our rivals. I don't think we've sold to a big Premier League club probably since Walker in 2017. Yeah. I can't remember too many since then. So I don't think Tottenham would want to do that. I can see him fitting in at Villa. I think it'd be a very good signing for Villa, but I don't think Tottenham would want to sell to Villa.
How much do you reckon? No, under no circumstances, or do you think a big offer?
It's a ridiculous bid.
Like a 60 million bid.
I think 60 might. I think even that. I think we might say no to.
Really?
Yeah, I think it would have to be like pushing 70.
I think it depends if he wants to go or not. You know, if the interest comes and he actually wants to go, do you not think there's, you know, there'll be some more negotiations?
Yeah. Then maybe. I mean, if something's gone wrong, if he wants to,
of course,
he'd rather go to Villa than stay at Tottenham. But yeah, then if that's the case, for sure we'll probably consider it. But we know he's a great player. He can serve multiple purposes in our squad. I think if a different club came in, like from abroad, and he was interested in leaving, I think we'd consider a lower bid. But because he's a rival in the Premier League, I think that adds a premium to it.
I agree with that. Let's talk about this Giovanni Lo Celso and Jacob Ramsey situation, because last night TYC Sport reported that Tottenham are close to reaching an agreement with Aston Villa for the signing of Jacob Ramsey, with Giovanni Lo Celso going in the opposite direction. Ramsey would join Spurs in exchange for Lo Celso plus a 19 million fee. Some source in Argentina also said the same thing. I'm not sure if they got the story from TYC Sport or not, but they said the exact same thing. And another reporter in Argentina says that Tottenham midfielder Giovanni Lo Celso is now close to joining Aston Villa to be reunited with Unai Emery, as the midfielder would love to link up with Emi Martinez.
I mean, I looked into these stories, and from what I can gather, there is nothing substantial in them. TYC reported it off the back of, I read the report, and it said, in the report, it says the deal is close according to English media. So that's basically they're piggybacking on the reports that have happened over the last few weeks in England. These Argentinian reporters are basically piggybacking off that TYC report, from what I can gather. So there doesn't seem anything substantial to this. Not to say this won't happen. I'm sure there might still be talks if Spurs are genuinely interested in Ramsey, and obviously Lo Celso played under Emery. This still could definitely happen if both sides want it. I'm just saying, from what I can gather from that story, there doesn't seem to be any substance to it at the moment.
In terms of personal opinion, I mean, before we brought Archie Gray in, I was actually quite positive about the Jacob Ramsey deal. But now, if we are to do a deal with Aston Villa for Giovanni Lo Celso, I would prefer just to get straight up cash instead of trying to swap deal with Jacob Ramsey. I just don't see a spot in the squad for him.
I agree, and we got all these talented young players as well, like Divide and other players who. Look, it's question marks whether they're ready right now, but does signing a youngish player like Ramsey block their development potentially and their ability to break into the team when we could ease their way into it as well? And we're chock-a-block full of midfielders. I'm not saying Ramsey's a bad player. I'm not saying I'd be unhappy to sign him. I'm just saying I don't see it as massively necessary.
Yeah, I agree. And like you say, it's not even just those players. We've got our midfield is so stacked. Even with selling Lo Celso and Hojbjerg, the midfield is still stacked. So I just can't see this one happening in terms of Ramsey coming to Spurs. But I can definitely see Lo Celso going to Aston Villa for sure. Last up, let's talk about Murillo of Nottingham Forest. Paul Taylor, Nottingham Forest correspondent for The Athletic, says that Forest value Murillo at 60 to 70 million, with Tottenham Hotspur extensively scouting the defender. Forest could have their resolve tested by Tottenham before the end of the window, despite avoiding having to cash in for PSR purposes last month. Yeah,
I don't think we get anything close to that figure. I think we would only be interested in him if they was available for a cut price fee, which they might have been if they were struggling with PSR. If they're not, if they're demanding anything, look, I don't think we go to 50 million.
Yeah.
I don't think we go to 40 million.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe 35. Maybe.
And probably not even that. Probably
not. But I think at that point we start to look at it thinking, okay, that's not a terrible deal. I don't see a massive need to splash out that kind of anything near that money for centre back Murillo. I mean, he's a good player, and I think he would be good for us, but there's no need to splash that amount of money for him, in my opinion.
I would prefer just to give that spot in the squad to Ashley Phillips and spend that money in the forward line. That's the way to go, in my opinion. Ashley Phillips, maybe he's not completely ready to start week in, week out, but he can definitely play a role, could definitely play a part.
I agree. I'd rather do that. I'd rather play Ben Davis and spend the money in the forward line than spend 60 million on Murillo.
Yeah. Albeit, I think Murillo's a very good player, and I think he would do well here.
I'm not saying Davis is better than Murillo. I'm just saying, or Phillips. I know you're not saying Phillips is better than Murillo. I'm just saying, if we're going to allocate funds to places, I don't want to allocate 60 million to our fourth choice centre back.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts, absolute facts. But that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts about all those news stories we have brought you. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you.